In this video, we're diving into two brand new turntables from our friends at Pro-Ject Audio Systems, the Debut Evo 2 and the T1 Evo. Now, Pro-Ject turntables have been fan favorites here at Audio Advice for years, especially models like these that pack impressive performance features without breaking the bank. Now, we'll break down what makes these turntables stand out and see if the new Debut Evo 2 justifies the extra cost. Now, let's jump in. If anyone in the audio world ever had a crystal ball, it had to be the founder of Pro-Ject Audio Systems. Back in 1991, when CDs ruled the music scene and vinyl was considered dead, he launched a company in Austria with one simple goal: to create affordable turntables. Fast forward more than 30 years, and Pro-Ject Audio Systems has grown into one of the biggest turntable manufacturers in the entire world, with a design team in Austria and factories in Germany, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Now, the only downside to Pro-Ject's lineup is that there's a lot of options, 46 models to be exact, ranging from $299 to a whopping $14,999 as of this video. Now that's where we come in. As your go-to source for top-notch home audio and home theater advice, we're here to help you cut through the noise and highlight the models that offer the best bang for your buck. And these two new turntables definitely make the cut. Now, if you're looking at the T1 Evo or the Evo 2, chances are you're ready to step up to your first high-quality turntable. Over the past few years, vinyl has become a wildly popular hobby, with many starting out on a budget turntable and then diving headfirst into a vinyl shopping spree. Now, hunting down your favorite albums on vinyl is just a blast, but it doesn't take long before your collection becomes a serious investment. Now, that's why it's so important to have a turntable that not only protects your records, but also brings out the best in your music. The grooves on a vinyl record are incredibly tiny, microscopic in fact, and the last thing you want is a cheap automatic turntable causing permanent damage to your precious music. Now, high-performance turntables are designed to treat your records with care, ensuring that they last a lifetime. With new vinyl LPs averaging around $25 each, it doesn't take much to rack up a collection worth more than the price of a quality turntable like the T1 Evo. But no matter what turntable you choose, we always recommend one that will preserve your records while bringing out the best in your music. And these two new Pro-Ject models definitely do that. Now, if you're just getting started in the world of vinyl, be sure to check out our Turntable Buyer's Guide, where it's a fantastic resource to help you learn everything you need to know about turntables. And remember, here at Audio Advice, we're a team of vinyl enthusiasts, and we're always here to answer your questions about which turntable is best fit for your system. Plus, we also offer great after-purchase support to help you get the most out of your setup and the most from your turntable. So if you want to pick up one of these turntables or any others, please consider supporting us by purchasing from audioadvice.com. Now, the ultimate goal of any high-performance turntable is to extract every bit of music from the grooves of your record without adding anything that might compromise the audio signal. Since turntables are mechanical, analog devices, many things need to be done right to get the most from your records. The phono cartridge is where it all starts, as that's the device that actually pulls the sound from your vinyl. The quality of the cartridge itself can have a big impact on your sound, but the turntable must be able to support the cartridge, allowing it to get all of that information. Now, the tone arm is the part of the turntable the cartridge is attached to and must not add any resonances to the sound, while at the same time holding the cartridge perfectly in the groove with no added friction from the tone arm bearings. The other critical parts are the motor, platter, and platter bearing, which should be designed to spin your record at a very consistent speed. Then finally, you want your turntable to be isolated as much as possible from external vibrations that might color your sound. You can help your turntable in the isolation area by not putting it right next to or on the same shelf as your speakers that might have a lot of bass energy in them. So how do these two new Pro-Ject turntables stack up in these critical areas? Let's dive in and have a look. First, the T1 Evo looks to us to be a really good basic turntable. Like most good turntables these days, it is fully manual, which means that you must move the tone arm over the lead-in groove, lower it onto the record using the cueing lever, and then pick it up yourself using the lever again at the end. Removing automatic mechanical components is a great way to reduce problems, which is why you see so many high-performance turntables being manual. Now, it used to be, and still is for some turntables, that if you want to play an LP that is 45 RPM, you must move the belt to a different position on the motor pulley. Now, with both the T1 Evo and the Debut Evo 2, there is actually an electronic speed control that allows you to switch between 33 and 45 with just a simple switch. Now, we also should point out here that the Debut Evo 2 does have a more sophisticated speed control, which is one thing that gives it a leg up in playing your vinyl at a very perfect speed. Now, we really do love the simple look of the T1 Evo, and you'll have 3 great finish options, including gloss black, satin white, and satin walnut. It uses a one-piece aluminum tone arm and comes with the very popular Ortofon OM10 moving magnet phono cartridge. Now, Ortofon is a very old Danish company that specializes in phono cartridges. The OM10 has been an audiophile favorite as a great budget phono cartridge for so many years. It comes pre-mounted and is perfectly aligned on the Pro-Ject tone arm, with even the counterweight set up for the correct tracking force, making it really easy to get things up and running. Even though it's at the lower price range for Pro-Ject turntables, the tone arm really does just feel first class, with friction-free bearings that seem really solid for the cost of this turntable. Now, part of this is simply economies of scale. When you sell more turntables than almost any other company in the world, you can put in some great tech if you plan to make thousands of these like Pro-Ject will. Now, on all turntables, the part that the tone arm and the platter are mounted to is called the plinth. Now, in this case, it is the black rectangular part that the tone arm and platter are mounted to on this turntable. With the T1 Evo, you get a CNC machined plinth designed to minimize resonance. Even the feet are designed with a special material to keep external vibrations away from the plinth. Now, we do wish that they were adjustable to make leveling a little bit easier, but you really just can't get everything at this price point. Now, the motor on this is mounted to the plinth with isolators to further reduce any possible vibrations. This drives a heavy 8mm thick glass platter. Heavy platters give you better rotational stability for speed consistency, which is another plus. Of course, if the platter sat on a subpar bearing, none of that would matter. But in the case of the T1 Evo, Pro-Ject pulled some more tech from their more high-end turntables here, giving you a really great bearing. The subplatter that the glass outer platter sits on is very similar to the subplatter on some of the debut tables and has a bearing assembly machined within 0.001mm tolerances. Now, there are 3 versions of the T1 Evo: the regular T1 Evo, the T1 Evo Phono, and the T1 Evo BT. The difference from the T1 Evo and T1 Evo Phono is that for $50 more, you get a built-in phono preamp purposely made to match up with the Ortofon OM10. And again, for a little bit more money, you can get the T1 Evo BT, where you get the built-in phono preamp and Bluetooth capability. Now, if you already have a system with a phono preamp, you can save the $50 and go for the one without, but the built-in version is perfect for powered speakers or cases where your gear does not have a phono preamp. And it is also defeatable should you want to improve things down the road and add your own. Now, another thing that we want to call out is the quality of cables that you get with the T1 Evo. Now, these are the Connect-It E cables, which are $60 if you purchase them separately. Many turntables in this price class have some pretty inexpensive cables, so it's really great to see Pro-Ject include some very nice ones specifically designed for a phono signal. Now, all in all, at either the current $449 or $499 with the phono preamp, the T1 Evo is one heck of a great turntable for those of you looking to move to a better vinyl experience while getting a turntable that will take care of your records. Okay, moving on. So why would you spend $250 more to get the Evo 2? That is what we're about to go over. The original debut table was the model that put Pro-Ject audio systems on the map and has been their best-selling turntable of all time. Every few years, their engineers come up with some improvements and we would see a new and much better version. Well, the debut Evo 2 is the latest and is simply packed with tech from their more expensive turntables. Now, if you look at a T1 Evo and a debut Evo 2 from several feet away, they might look pretty similar. While they do come from the same DNA, the debut Evo 2 has plenty of upgrades to more than justify the cost over the T1 Evo. First, let's start at the feet. On the debut Evo 2, they are better damped using thermoplastic elastomers or TPE and are height adjustable. The plinth itself has more mass for resonance reduction, and heck, the Evo 2 weighs almost 60% more than the T1 Evo. Now, the motor is also better isolated and, as we said earlier, has a much more sophisticated power supply. Pro-Ject's more expensive debut Pro B and XAB turntables use a special platter that is CNC machined from aluminum, and then each one goes through a balancing process for better rotational stability. Now, they then machine a ridge into the outer part of the platter and fill it with TPE, which damps out resonances and gives the platter a better flywheel effect. Now, as you probably could have guessed, this is the exact platter that you'll find on the debut Evo 2. Now, moving on, at Audio Advice, we love well-machined tone arms, and the debut Evo 2 has one special arm. While it is the same length as the one on the T1 Evo, it is a one-piece carbon fiber build and uses the same tone one-arm bearing block as the more expensive Debut Pro. It has much more mass and far better bearings for even less friction. And even the counterweight is designed to reduce resonances with TPE isolation built right in. All of these factors allow the cartridge to pick up more micro details that make your music so much more involving. Now, the cartridge itself is also a big jump up. Pro-Ject worked with Audifon to design a brand new model just for this tone arm called the Picket Evo. It's made to be the perfect match for the mass of the tone arm on the Debut Evo 2. And speaking of its mass, for those of you who are really into this, it is 10 grams, which means you could later upgrade to a moving coil phono cartridge as long as it's a fairly high compliance. For the connections on the rear, the Evo 2 does not have a built-in phono preamp option like the T1 Evo, but does have much more solid surface mounted RCA connections for the high quality phono cable. Now, it also has another connection option that you could upgrade to in the future that would make it even better. The signal level of the phono cartridge is extremely low compared to that of a music streamer or CD player. Now, with a very low signal, there is a chance for noise to get into the cable that connects the turntable to an amplifier. Now, the Evo 2 has an option to upgrade to a balanced system, which by its design eliminates noise. This would require a different phono cartridge, a different cable, and a phono preamp capable of handling a balanced signal, but the Evo 2 is the least expensive turntable on the market that we know of to offer this cool upgrade. And finally, you get 10 color choices with the Evo 2, which is more than any that we've seen on a turntable, and we must say they're all beautiful with an 8-coat finish. Now, as you can see, it's pretty clear that the Debut Evo 2 is a better turntable than the T1 Evo. But the real question is, which is better for your system? Either one is going to take fine care of your valuable vinyl collection, with the bottom line being that the Evo 2 is just flat out going to sound so much better than the T1 Evo. However, if you're going from a very inexpensive turntable to the T1 Evo, you will likely be blown away by how much better it actually sounds. So it really comes down to how far you want to take your listening experience, and that becomes a matter of balancing how your system is put together. The turntable, your choice of amplifier, your speakers, and even the acoustics in your room all play a huge role in your ultimate sound quality. Now, this is where our passionate team of music lovers can help you out in making the very best decision for your budget and your future system. Now, you're gonna wanna think of your turntable as the starting point for your entire music system. It's where the sound is really born. If your turntable doesn't capture those subtle details that make music just so engaging, even the most high-end and expensive speakers and amplifiers can't magically recreate those missing nuances. So it really all begins right at the source. Now, if you have more questions about either of these Pro-Ject turntables or anything about turntables, audio, or home theater, please reach out, call, or chat with our team of experts at audioadvice.com. Plus, when you purchase from Audio Advice, you get free shipping, lifetime support, and a price guarantee. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.